This is the Lockpicker 1969, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the next episode of Interview with the Lockpicker. Today's guest is HumboldtPicker. Say hi.
Hey man, hey everybody.
So, where are you from?
I'm from Humboldt County, California.
Okay. Where's that abouts in California?
I'm about an hour south of the Oregon border,
Okay.
and not too far from the border. Right on the coast.
Have you lived there your entire life?
Yep.
Okay. So, how and when did you get into lock sport?
I got into lock sport, lock picking, I think about 2008, 2009. Um, I had a friend, he was a locksmith, and he was like, "You wanna learn how to pick a lock?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he pulled out the a snake rake, and I picked the front door on my house within 5 minutes, and I've been hooked ever since.
Okay. All right. So, you got started in 2009-ish. So you've been doing it for a long time, or did you move away from it for a bit and come back to it?
I did. So, yeah, I bought one of the cheap kits, just picked here and there, and then I think I've been doing it for about 4 months now,
Okay.
lock sport.
Okay. So, how did you ease back into it then, back a few months ago?
So I don't know. I was on Pinterest and some lock picking stuff came up, and then I started just looking more into it, and then I was on a Facebook group, and somebody posted the LPU Discord, and I thought, man, that'd be cool to get a belt. So did some research and hopped onto the Discord and started from there.
Okay. So, I would imagine in the last few months since you got started back into things, you've upped your equipment or tools.
Most definitely, yes.
Okay. So, what did you go with?
I went with multi-pick.
Okay. You mentioned also covert instruments, if I'm not mistaken. Is that
I
correct?
did, yep.
Okay.
Yep, I got a covered instrument set, and, I like the multi-pick a little bit better. I have smaller hands. They
Okay.
they fit me pretty good.
So here's a question. You got into it in 2009. I wouldn't imagine there was a lot of any kind of presence in not what we call lock sport today, but uh, did you have any exposure to anybody else out there back then? And how did that compare to getting back into it?
Um, just that guy, really, and then, YouTube, lock-picking lawyer.
Okay.
Um, I think he 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 was back there, it was 2009, right?
I don't know how far back LPL goes. Maybe. I
There's
don't.
some lock-picking videos, so, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was him or Bosnian Bill.
Okay. Now, when you got back into it a few months back, did you turn to anybody new in the lock sport community that really kind of helped you really kick
Yeah,
things off and get started?
yes, Lady Locks.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So here's a question for you. You mentioned the community a bit. How were you introduced to it? I mean, how did you get into the community? What was that like for you?
Um, get into the community, through the LPU Discord,
Yeah. So
and just
did you wind up
meeting
in
people
face?
in there.
Okay. I was just wondering if you wound up on Facebook or on Reddit at all too.
I didn't do the Reddit. I do Facebook and,
Okay.
the LPU Discord.
So, what was that like for you getting into the community? And I guess the question I would ask from my own perspective is, how did it compare to other online communities you might have been involved in before Locksport?
It was scary at first, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know really how to navigate through anything, and I just started asking questions, and I was very surprised at this how this community works, you know? So everybody was so helpful, nobody got mad if I asked any questions,
Yeah.
and that drew me in.
Okay. So during your journey, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in learning?
Learning, lockpicking?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say definitely the difference between picking a pin and picking the wording,
Yeah. Yep.
oversetting, getting your tension right.
Okay. You also mentioned dimple locks, I think.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure dimples out, but once I finally did, I think they're probably my favorite to pick.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier about being exposed with the LPU and the belt ranking. Are I'm assuming you're pursuing that, right?
Mhm.
And what belt are you?
I am a brown belt currently.
So what was your journey like to get
My journey,
to brown?
okay.
Yeah.
I started as a white belt. I picked a Weiser WR5 and then an Abus 7440 for my green, a Packlock 90A Pro for my blue, and a Gold P and a Acidesmo for my brown.
Okay. Cool. So you went from green and you did blue. You had to do your challenge lock, I'm assuming, for blue. What was that
Mhm.
like for you?
I loved it, man. At first I was like, man, I don't know about this, but my Dremel is probably my favorite tool of all things, and I had so much fun with it.
Okay.
It's so I bought all the tools to do more things, to do more of them. I've currently made 4, and I've got probably enough pins to do a few more.
So
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to do is what I call pin therapy. You just sit there with some brass rod and you just make pin after pin after pin. And you
Yeah.
don't necessarily have a purpose for them in mind yet, but I just
Yeah.
I'll make one
I
after
do
another. Yeah.
I
So
do that too. I probably got about 50 pins just sitting in a bag right now.
okay. So question for you. With your Dremel and your spinning the brass to make the pins, how are you um bracing the Dremel so that it's nice and steady for you? How are you accomplishing that?
I have a vise, a Harbor Freight vise that
Okay.
I clamp it in, and then I hook up a foot pedal to it, so I don't have to uh, adjust the speed. I can do it with my foot.
Okay. There's a vise made by Dremel called a multi-vise that
Mhm.
clamps to the edge of your desk, and it has a collar on it that you can attach. You replace the vise, and you put the collar on, and you can actually attach then your whole Dremel, and then it will hold your Dremel in place for you.
I seen that. That
It's a v-
that thing is
it's
awesome.
a very nice piece of kit. I did a video on that, so definitely check that out because that'll be a game changer. I think it's a little better than putting your Dremel into a vise. I always concerned about having a Dremel in a vise when it's vibrating and all that, and you have that pressure up against the tool, and worry about with heat and all that how that impacts the actual tool. So
Yeah.
definitely a nice piece of kit. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's on my list to get for sure because I
okay.
definitely want to make some more of these things.
Yeah, definitely. It's so much fun. I can't even tell you. So you have your YouTube channel. What was the original reason for starting up your channel? Was it just to do belt videos, or were you using it for something else before that?
Yeah, I did originally make it to share my videos to the LPU site,
Okay.
um, because you can only share so long of videos.
Yep.
And I don't know, I just enjoyed it so much, I started to do content, and
Okay. So what's the future of your
that's it.
channel look like?
Hoping to get some more locks here soon. but I got some challenge locks here that I wanna get on there,
Okay.
and I wanna, maybe pursue black belt. I'm not sure yet, but
Okay. So, is there anything about yourself that you would like our audience to know?
anything about myself? I like to help people. If there's anybody that needs any help, getting into this community, any help with picking a lock, that, uh, belongs to you, of course. Um, I'm here to help, you know?
Okay. So, what do you do for a living?
I'm an, electrician,
What kind of
residential.
residential? Okay. So, what type of work do you do as a residential electrician then?
I do all sorts of things, lighting, generators, hooking up switches,
So,
um
I'm going to ask you an interesting question. From what you've learned learning lockpicking, now you learned it a while back, but I would imagine you upped your game since you more recently got back into it. Um,
mm.
has the skills you've picked up doing that made you look at anything different about how you do your regular job at all?
That's a hard one.
It's okay.
Sometimes, yeah, I can work the wires a little bit easier, I just more finesse.
More attention to detail now that you're looking at things from a different
E
lens.
exactly,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
what I kind of thought. Okay, so when we talked originally, you had some hobbies and interests that you had went through with me. A lot of them looked like they were, along the lines of hunting and fishing and all that. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah, I love hunting, deer hunting, duck hunting, lots of bird hunting, and, kayaking. I used to actually do a lot of, fishing tournaments in the ocean.
Oh, wow.
I actually took first place one time.
So what did you
But,
fish for in the ocean?
rockfish, lingcod, flatfish like halibut.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned during the pre-interview that you were into guns and reloading.
Mhm. Yep. That's a big part of my life. Reloading, it's therapeutic to me, you know,
Okay.
just as lock picking.
Well, here's the question then. Which one's more therapeutic, reloading or making pins?
I would say reloading.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, you also mentioned golf.
Yep. I love to play golf.
Okay. All right. So next question I have for you, and by all means, take your time and make sure you cover this one because that's what everybody always says is they miss somebody. But do you have any thank yous that you'd like to give to any other lock sporters? And are there some lock sporters out there that you feel are notable in the community that you'd like to mention?
Yes, I definitely do. The cranky lock picker from the UK. I was just talking on a forum one day about Eurolocks, how I'd never picked any Eurolocks, and this guy just was like, "I'll send you some locks," and he sent me a whole bunch, man, and he hooked me up. So I definitely owe that guy. He's an awesome person, great picker. Not sure if you've had the chance to talk with him yet.
Mm-mm. No, I
Um,
can't say I have.
him, the cranky lock picker, lock junkie. He's a real cool guy.
Very awesome.
He's Yeah, very helpful, very supportive, and same with Lady Locks. Give a shout out to her. She's always been there for me with every question I've ever had, and anything, anything I've ever needed, she's been there.
She is definitely a pillar of the community, and she has really kind of built um, a name for herself and a reputation in the community. I can give her that hands down, without
Yeah, 100%.
without doubt. Um, I've watched her kind of go through everything that she's done to help the community over the last few years. We've known each other, what, dating back to 2020, early 2022, maybe, I think. But definitely this community is better having her in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I
So
agree.
I wanted to circle back on something. You said you made 3 other challenge locks. Can you talk about those?
Yeah, let's see. I don't have the names of them written down, but I I I sent out my first one for my blue belt, and I don't think I ever heard back from the guy. Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah, second one I sent to Georgia Gym, and my third one I sent to Otter Arms.
Okay. So what were those locks like?
Uh, Georgia Gym couldn't pick my second one. But left hand Loki picked it pretty quick.
Okay. So they're all 3 are circulating around out there right now?
They are, yeah. I made that one pretty specific for Georgia Gym, pretty challenging.
Okay.
So,
So did he give you feedback on it?
I asked him if he wanted any help with it, but he denied any help.
Did he say he enjoyed it though?
Um, he said he tried. He said picking it both ways was like picking two different locks.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad thing, especially if you're getting a compliment from Georgia Jim about a lock being difficult. I think that's high praise. So definitely, he's
Yeah,
a.
yeah. That's another guy. I love his channel. I mean,
Oh yeah.
watching him pick some of those black belt locks one after another is unbelievable.
Okay, so you're at brown belt. Are you gonna jump right to trying to get black? Or are you gonna be working on red next?
Um, I'm probably gonna stick at brown for a while, but I mean, I might as well just go for black. Is what I'm thinking. Try and get better for sure before I do. But
I guess here's my theory on that one. Stay at brown as long as you are enjoying it, and I don't know that I would skip, but a lot of people do. You learn different skills along the way, and definitely the different levels challenge you in different ways where you kind of build on what you learned. So
yeah,
probably not a bad thing if you do choose to do reds first and you have some fun. It's really I found the belt system and the belt ranking thing to be a great personal challenge. I'm a very competitive person by nature typically, so the minute I got wind of the belt ranking system, yeah, I was all over that like white on rice. So, definitely, that was a lot of fun. My channel
yeah,
kind of took over. I
yeah,
got as far as purple and I got too busy making content to really,
yeah.
but I'll be back at it, just working on getting my lab reestablished once some things
So
change. Yep.
you're over 100 episodes.
Yes, and this is 100th episode is me being interviewed by Broke Picks. So,
Oh, very cool.
yep,
I I can't wait to hear it.
it'll be a definite milestone for the interview series. So, I'm happy it's gone this long. I'm happy that we've been able to make a good contribution to the community. I'm glad people still value the interviews and they enjoy them. And as long as people still do that, I'll keep doing them. So,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love the show, and thank you for having me.
oh, definitely. So, with that, I'm going to ask you the our last question before we wrap up. What is your favorite thing about Locksport?
My favorite thing about Locksport, I want to say mostly the community, but it's the pop of the shackle, man. The final piece of the puzzle.
The adrenaline
You know,
rush.
yeah, the reward you get. It's such a rewarding sport.
Yeah, no, it definitely is that. So, do you have a final message you'd like to give to our audience?
Yeah, thank you all for listening. If you are all thinking about trying lock sport, I say do it. And if you need any help, I'm here.
All right. Okay. Well, with that, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you for doing the interview. It was fun
Yeah.
getting to get to know you and talk with you. And okay, so folks, to keep this going, I need to have people that want to come forward and be interviewed. If you haven't been interviewed yet, why not?
Yep.
I make it a fun process. I make it a bunch of fun to do, or at least I try to. And if you haven't done it yet, get in touch with me. With that, I'll wrap it up. If you are already a subscriber, thank you. If you are not yet a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications and all, and hit like on the video. And thanks for listening.